Hey all, good morning or good afternoon, depending on which time of day it is that you're viewing this. So basically, to do your research project, you're going to have to find sources for it. This is going to be the majority of the work that you're going to do for the project. And then really, once you have all this information, then you can start putting your final product together. So what we're going to do first is I need you to click on the link here that is going to open up the research tracker, make a copy of it, and move it to your 6 weeks 6 folder. So the first thing that I need you to do, you should have already told me your research question and submitted your proposal. So the first thing I need you to do is put your research question into this top row here. And then I'm going to just basically show you mine that I'm working on, which includes the example row at the top as well as one that I'm currently looking at. Okay, so what we're going to have in here is a title, or your research question, which mine is, why are there no films directed by women in the AFI Top 100 list? You're going to need to put the title of the article that you find. You're going to need to discuss the reliability, which includes when it was published and if it presents any bias. You're going to need this citation, which will be in MLA. You're going to need a summary. You're going to need 3 quotes at least, and you're going to need to determine what information you're still going to need to look for after you discuss or determine what you got from this first article. So for the example one that you guys all have access to as well, basically what I found is that this article is discussing the business side of the issue, but I need to find articles discussing audience bias and how it's impacted business decisions. So the article that I'm currently working on is one that I found about what's called the Ulmer scale. But before we get into all that stuff, I wanted to remind you guys how to access the databases. So you're going to need to go to Rapid Identity, your password.aisd.net. Remember, our databases for AISD are located in Destiny. So go there, find Arlington Collegiate High School on the right side, and then these are all the different databases that you can access. So you guys are going to have a variety of research questions. So you might look in some of these all subject ones, or keep in mind that they do have specific different sections for subjects like social studies, science, current issues, and so on. I find that the current issues one tends to be pretty good for most of the things that I research, at least. But if you're doing something that is very science heavy, look in this section. If you're doing something that's very historical, look at social studies. You can look around in a bunch of different ones and just search for stuff until you find things. So I'm going to look for the password for the current issues opposing viewpoints. So remember, if you go all the way to the bottom, go to passwords for digital resources, and then you're going to just look for whichever one you want to find or whichever one you want to access on the left side here. So I think mine is going to be way down here. There it is. So notice most of these, the password is student. So if I go back, I'm going to go up to the opposing viewpoints, access it, and then this is where I'm going to need to put in the password. Student, all lowercase. And then, so the article that I was looking up, or the one that I found by looking up the Ulmer scale, which is something that I noticed in a different article that I was reading. Keep in mind, guys, for this section for all these databases, and even if you use any of the TCC ones, you're going to have to be very specific about the keywords that you type into your question or into the search bar, because if you type your whole research question, chances are it's not going to come up with a lot of stuff. This isn't like Google where it's going to just give you like cutting out all the words that you don't need. So this was the article that I used. Remember, up here at the top of most of these, it'll give you something that says cite. Just click on that. We're looking for MLA. And once I've got it, then I'm going to select, copy it, and that is what I put in here under the citation. I also put the title. I said the article was written in 2010, which is important to my research because it's basically discussing how Hollywood determines what artists or directors or actors are going to be able to make money. And then because it's an interview, there is no bias. I summarized it. Now I wanted to find some quotes to add in here. So one of the things that I thought was important about this was just describing how the Ulmer scale works. So basically what they say here is we look at how a star's power, in other words, how able is their name alone to sell a movie and get those bums into seats both nationally and worldwide. So I like that quote, so I'm going to copy and paste it in here under quote 1. Remember to use quotation marks. If you do Control-Shift-V, then it will paste it in the way that it still fits with the formatting that was already there. And then I'm not going to make you guys watch me find 2 other quotes, but basically after reading this article, I still need to find essentially what it is about female-driven films that audiences don't seem to like. So that's the thing that I still need to look up. Is I still need to determine why audiences have a problem with seeing films directed by women and or starring women. So notice how my question is about films directed by women. The source that I found here isn't necessarily about them directing so much as starring, but you guys might find that, once you start getting into your research, it starts going a different direction, but this is still kind of going along with what I am looking for because this Ulmer scale does also rate directors. It's just that this particular article is only talking about it rating actors. So if you find that you need to readjust your question, or if you're just kind of refocusing your research, that's totally fine. Just talk to me about it and let me know. But since this is a video that's available for you guys, obviously you are welcome to rewatch parts of it, see what you need that suits you. So again, you are going to be filling this one out. You have the example. You need at least 3 more sources. You're welcome to have more than that, but make sure you're following the instructions inside this document as well as the instructions that are inside the assignment in Canvas. This is due by midnight tonight. Keep in mind, it is a